because I just assumed that it was. I just assumed it was because so many people are home quarantined.
No, I mean sometimes mine gets kind of squirrely, but it's mostly just a bug that they end up. There's almost always an update within like 12 hours or so of it starting that, and
Yeah,
you know that old chestnut.
that old chestnut.
What are you smoking upon this eve?
I went a little side thing that I don't normally do. We're going with the Esto exclusivamente para el jefe.
Oh,
Sport Habano Liga Privada T22.
hey,
Actually, no, that'd be 52, right? Forgive me,
so.
Spanish-speaking friends. What is that? I can't even see.
Andalusian.
Oh, nice. LFD, baby. LFD's a choice for me.
So put some fuzz on my peaches.
Yes, with a beautiful green wrapper.
It is a nice color. Like it complements the cigar. Like there's no one else really doing anything with a darker green label like that. And so when you see it, you automatically think,
yeah, it pops. That emerald.
Andalusian bull.
Mm-hmm.
I'm riding the bull. Like that's what I tell customers all the time when they grab it. They grab one of these. It's like, oh, we're riding the bull. He's like, yeah.
Nice. So what's funny is, so you know, Tiki from Tiki Geckos.
Must toast it first.
What's that? Must toast. Must toast your tobacco.
Toast the foot.
So Tiki from Tiki's Geckos. I just looked at his story a little while ago, and like I've been out like club bars with him and Manny and them, and usually the two of them, like their group of friends, it's more of a, they're younger than us, and it's more of a modern club scene, club music. They're always well dressed. They don't look like a dirtbag like I do. But he was playing earlier. We sold our souls for rock and roll, and I was on his story, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, man! Old school metal with Geckos, like that's awesome!" Like it took me by surprise. And then like I said, I was like, "Yeah, man!" I was like, "Hell yeah, we sold our souls for rock and roll!" And he threw up a bunch of devil horn emojis. I thought that was cool. I didn't take him for a Sabbath guy. What am I missing on the chat? I haven't even looked. Oh, all right. She got him out. That's good. Copney, this one's for you. But yeah, man, I decided to go with the T52 tonight because I haven't had one in like shit, man. The last one I had was maybe with you in Daytona.
I have a feeling, though, if you smoke enough of them, you'll start liking those more than number 9s.
Yeah. Nice. I saw somebody recently posted they found a Black King that they had lost for an entire year. And they found it. And it's literally the same exact size as the one that they didn't lose. It was like a pair, and I guess the male got loose. And it's the same size. It's been living in the house somewhere. Like, that, to me, is amazing. Whatever it was living on. So, yeah, Instagram is driving me crazy.
It's being squirrely.
I can't watch stories. I can't post anything. And it's not that it's not letting me. It's that it crashes after like 20 seconds. And it's not even like we're experiencing technical difficulties. No, just like the app just turns off.
Yeah, no. When they have bugs, it's not like a, hey, things are struggling. It's like you'll see an update when it's ready to be fixed.
Mm-hmm. So trying to like upload and then it won't let me upload. It just gives me black screen.
Yeah, see, I'm not having any issues.
I'm just gonna leave it there for a second. It's gonna crash. There's notice. I figure if I do this, it'll prove me wrong and it'll upload.
I mean, it's done that to me a few times. Where like anytime I try to do anything, it'll do the same thing. It'll just close. So.
And then I always turn my laptop on like a half an hour before we do this. That way I can get in all the text messages and emails and the bing, 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 you know. What's up, Dan? And
Dan Colgan.
I put the
congrats on the Antaresia eggs.
Ooh, which species?
I want to say those were Stimsons, if I'm not mistaken. He got some stimmies.
Stimmies. I like the
stims.
Did Nippler ever get that new pygmy locality that he was supposed to get?
I have no idea, but he did send me a link. A new species of Atheris has been found.
I was going to bring that up. He sent me that like yesterday morning at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I was like, did you send it to Smitty? And he says, I have to read you what he said. He says, it was such a British thing.
It's probably something about being a redneck.
No. It was super complimentary to UN.
Like half of it was in French, though, or not even, like more than half. I don't know if you read it or not. But
the majority of it, I believe it was French.
There's like one paragraph that was in English.
Yeah, but you know what, though? But
I kind of got the gist of it from reading over it.
That's what it is. You and I have looked at, and most of us in our group have looked at enough scientific journals that we know what we're reading, even though it's in German or French or whatever.
It looked freaking sweet, man. It was like a hispida crossed with a squam. Kind of.
Yep.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah. And it's always cool because we hear so often in the reptile and amphibian world of a new species is discovered because the media says discovered when it's really not. It's really described. So whether they broke it up or they just renamed it because it deserves a new name or whatever, but this is a legit, we never seen this before. Look what we found in the Congo.
Which is actually pretty interesting considering that it was only in like 2011 that Matilde was a thing. You know, they found like Matilde was buried in all these Ceratophora.
Yeah.
And then there's a new species of Trimeresurus.
Which one?
Salazar, I think. They named it after. I posted something on the magazine page about it.
I think I missed that.
Yeah, there's new species of... They named it after the Harry Potter character thing.
Really? But anyway, what Nipper was saying real quick, I said, hey, don't forget to send it to Smitty. He says, he already sent it to you. He is the other hand on the belly to you, as the saying goes. And I was like, that's beautiful. That makes me feel special. You and I are his portly American friends. Love it.
So this, I guess it was, I'm looking at it now.
By the way, what are we drinking this evening?
Water.
It's all right. I have real coffee. Not Irish, not Cuban, just regular coffee. With my Dachshund cup. That my friends in Sweden tell me I'm stupid because it's the ugliest cup in the world.
It's fine. So the article says a new species of green pit viper found in Arunachal Pradesh has a Harry Potter link. The scientific name Trimeresurus salazar has been inspired by Salazar Slytherin, co-founder of J.K. Rowling's fictional Hogwarts School of Wizardry and Witchcraft.
Oh, that was the one they found in the mountains north of Phuket, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It's like western central Thailand?
No idea.
No map?
Let me see. Let me pick a different link.
I don't know if I told you, but I'm obsessed with these vertigo lighters. And I tried to light birthday candles with them this week, and it's so powerful, it wouldn't do it. I literally just melted the wax and just smoldered. It was horrible.
Yeah, no, this is found in the lowlands of western Arunachal Pradesh in India. So doesn't really look like anything spectacular. I'll screen share it.
Please do.
It's nothing. It's not like a Venustus or anything like that.
Right.
It's just green Trimeresurus.
It has almost a Gonyosoma head to it, doesn't it?
Sorta.
It's kind of cool. It's a unique color of green, not your normal green. I like it. I like it a lot.
It was discovered in July of 2019, so I guess they finally, like, as of 2 days ago, they're like, this is the thing. So.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
There's Mongoliensis.
I didn't roll this right.
Huh. I didn't, Copney. He's asking if anybody attended the virtual show this weekend. They messaged the THP page last night to ask us if we'd promote it, which I thought was odd because it's like, if it's halfway over, why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It looked pretty cool. Like, I checked out the page. It's a cool idea. They were doing live streams from people doing like presentations and stuff, which I thought was kind of neat.
That's cool.
And now Ding is Blackhead crazy because of our conversation with Brett Bender. So
I didn't finish it yet, so don't spoil anything for me. I got up to where you're talking about blackheads. So thank you by the way, for asking the questions about the milli, whatever you want to call them. I appreciate that sincerely. That's kind of what I imagined he was doing with them. And then, dude, Angolans, we got to do them.
I want to, man.
I'm sick of backburnering it. I'm sick of missing windows of opportunity. We just got to do it. Honestly, I just want to get babies and just raise them, just for fun.
You guys get them at work?
No.
That doesn't seem like a good margins kind of item.
Well, I'll tell you, back in the day at Strictly, we got wild caught babies.
Mm-hmm.
And like they'd come in with like scars and shit. They were legit smuggled across the border babies. And I regret not buying them because they were like $500 back then. And Underground gets like pairs from people every so often. What happens is somebody like you and I gets a pair, raises them up and says, you know what, I don't want to do snakes anymore, they're boring or whatever. They sell them, and then, you know, Underground, they usually sell them pretty fair. They usually sell them like, what is it, like $1,500 for the pair or something like that?
Yeah.
Maybe 12, something like that.
Let me see. I'm on King Snake right now, and I don't see any because I don't remember what they're going for currently.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, the T52, you're right. It is an enjoyable smoke.
But it's just got so much more going on, man. The number 9 is just one-dimensional.
I don't think it's one-dimensional, man.
What you taste is what you get. T52 is a cornucopia of goodness.
It is a cornucopia of goodness. I will give you that. And I know that in the next 20 to 30 minutes, it's going to slightly alter. I know it is. I know I'm going to get extra fragrance and extra this and extra that. But when I first start off, all I get is manure. And I don't know why.
You know, oddly enough, the cigars that like have that manure-y sort of smell to them when you're like smelling them before you light it, those are the ones that are usually the ones that I'm most impressed with. Like, they're usually really good.
I don't know, man. I don't usually mind it, but like, I'm enjoying this. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying this. I am. But I just, it's not a number 9. It's not.
Man, there's some scrubs on Fauna right now for $400.
There's some what?
Some scrubs.
Oh yeah. What do you got?
Snakes at Sunset is selling some for a decent price, but
what does he got?
It doesn't even say what locality they are. It just says scrubs. I don't.
Is it Amethystina?
Again, just doesn't even say.
Interesting. Probably for obvious reasons. Myanmar, I don't know if it is going to happen or not, but this week, I keep backburnering it. This week, I'm going to buy my hotel room. I actually talked to the people I go up with, Matt and Jamie. I talked to Matt today, and I was like, hey, man, I'm going to get the hotel room, take the time off. Worst case scenario, even if we don't go, we'll still have the time off. We'll hang out and do something, you know? So, and if I'm out $150 or whatever it is for the deposit, so be it. I'll make something work.
Yeah. I should buy this Macklets.
Oh, yeah? Random ass Macklets?
Well, Fascination is selling some F1s for $250 plus shipping, which isn't bad.
It's not too shabby, my friend. Not too shabby.
These are Timor variety apparently.
Oh, I got a text message today.
Which Timor pythons are another one that I would eventually at some point before I die like to give a try.
Yeah. I just threw a picture.
Luke Myers had some and he loved them. Yeah, dude, I talked to Sean on the phone about that today.
Well, here's the thing: is he sent me that photo. He just sent me that and another picture of it in the bed of the truck, and I was like, "Oh my God, is that mine?" And he never replied.
It's not.
It's not.
I don't believe so.
So what? Is it?
So basically, he sent this thing out, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if he's here at some point. We may need to have him jump on and talk about it because it's kind of a lengthy story. But pretty much, he sent that out to the customer. It sat at the hub for a couple days. Like it was at the hub, like one of the hubs, literally the day before it was supposed to be delivered. So It wasn't delivered. The driver never dropped it off. So then he got in contact with him. They took it back. Driver said it wasn't accepted, which wasn't the case because the customer said nobody came to the door.
Right.
So they sent it. They returned it to Sean. He thought he put his address for the return address, but it was one of the FedEx offices near him, I guess. And so he can't figure out where this thing is because he goes to that FedEx office. They're like, we don't have a package here. There's nothing here with your name on it. Whatever. Yep. So he calls them again. And then it ends up being at his nearest hub. And he gets it. And it looks like that. It's been retaped. It's clearly been dropped multiple times with a fairly high velocity. And it was all busted up.
On the inside as well.
Well, I asked him, because it was 2 racks in one box. So he said there was a few parts, few of the panels were they were fine, they were reusable, but he said there was 2 or so in there that were just completely obliterated. So for 2 weeks, this thing literally floated around, and then he finally, when it came back to his part of town, he couldn't even find it. Because it says it got delivered. When it came back, it said it was delivered. He went to the place where it said it was delivered to. They're it was signed by someone named Jim. He went there, and the people there were like, there's not even a guy that works here at that FedEx office. And so he eventually got a hold of the driver, and the driver was like, yeah, I dropped it off right there at that FedEx office. It is there. And it wasn't. And so then he finally figured out that it was at the hub. He's like, why would the driver tell me that when it's not? It was just a total clusterfuck.
Well, I gotta be honest, I got super excited because I thought that was my rack. I thought he just bubble wrapped the shit out of it, and that's why it looked all funky.
No, I didn't realize that's what happened after FedEx had it for.
Yeah, I didn't realize it started off in a perfect rectangle.
Yep.
That sucks.
Because I was talking to him about it earlier, and he's like, call me because it's a long story, and I did. It's like, Jesus, dude.
Well, what's funny is I have, for the past week, been trying to track down a rifle that was shipped from my distributor in Las Vegas to our store. Never made it to the store. Las Vegas couldn't find it. So my employer's wife basically bloodhounded FedEx. And FedEx was like, We never got it. And then finally she found out that it was at a hub, and no one at the hub was able, because of the COVID and whatnot, was able to go in the back and look for it. And we basically told them multiple times, this is a firearm. If you do not deliver it to us, we are going to call the ATF and report it stolen and tell them that it's sitting at your warehouse, and there will be major consequences. And they just don't give a fuck. They just don't care. And finally, we got a supervisor to say, hey, I'm looking at it. It's sitting in our annex. Unfortunately, I have no one scheduled to come pick it up and no one scheduled to deliver it. So hopefully I can get it to you either Monday or Tuesday. And it's like, what? How is this possible? How can you not just pick it up and throw it on a fucking truck? Because the guy comes to my store every single day. I have a scheduled FedEx ground and air delivery every single day, and scheduled FedEx ground and air pickup every single day. So I have three different guys that comes to the store 4 times a day. How is it possible that you can't just deliver a single box? It makes no sense.
That's what Sean's issue was too, is like the tracker would tell him it was delivered, and he'd ask, like, where did it deliver to? And they're like, we can't tell you that.
Yeah.
It was either we can't tell you or we don't know.
Yeah.
Like that, and that was two excuses. And he's like, this is my box. Like, this is my package. I'm not trying to steal my own package. It's mine. Like,
yep. And I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I've been hearing that most of the urban area delivery guys who have the little digital, like, Game Boy that has the bloop, 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 and they touch it and you have to sign with a pen or you sign with your finger.
Mm-hmm.
They're not letting people touch that thing because of COVID. So they're just putting the guy's name. So, like, my guy comes in every single day. He knows me. Like, I know his name's Steve. Yeah. My name's Phil. And
that's how our UPS drivers are for cigar shipments.
Yeah. And I'm sure that he's just putting Phil or Bob or whoever actually signs for it. And I mean, my guy's great. I love my guy. I'll never say ill about my guy. But how is it possible that the hub or the annex can't give it to my guy? He comes to the store every day anyway. Like, that makes no sense to me.
It's
not like
they do some goofy stuff, man.
Yeah. It's not like it's a pallet. It's literally a 3-foot by 2-inch box, 4-inch box.
I was telling him, though, I'm fortunate, knock on wood, that with my, snake shipments and stuff, I've yet to have a hiccup. I've yet to have any serious delay. I've had stuff that's been delayed by like an hour or so, and in Memphis in between flights. But other than that, like, my gripes with FedEx are pretty small.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with FedEx. I like FedEx a lot. They've never truly screwed me over. USPS has screwed me over a bunch of times.
Oh yeah, Postal Service, dude. Those people don't care.
Yeah, but at least with like FedEx, like, they own their route, or they lease their route, however that you want to call it. So that makes me feel a little better about it. But I've had animals get stuck. I've had animals that honestly died, and don't even get me started on my whole sun gazer thing. Ugh. So, yeah.
I think the worst I had happen with a delivery was crested I had sent out dropped its tail.
Could have happened. Could have happened.
Exactly. I was like, there's nothing I could do about that.
Yeah.
Person wasn't upset or anything. They were like, hey, just let me know. I was like, okay, sucks. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
then you replace the tail.
If I could hand deliver it, I would.
Right. I'll tell you what, man. That's another reason why I love Daytona, because you can hand deliver stuff and you can get stuff hand delivered.
Yeah.
Because everybody goes. But so there was another thing I was going to say, and I forgot. Crap. It was snake related. I don't remember. But I found out that my local cigar shop is now doing, they're allowing walk-ins to the humidor. The bar is still closed, but they're allowing walk-ins to the humidor as long as you have a face mask. and they're open like short shift hours. So I'm gonna go get a bunch of those Novas this week because I really miss that cigar. That cigar was tip top.
We're supposed to only have the shop open and not the lounge. But I've had some regulars that, like, I literally see them every day, and they're got nothing to do. And so they're like, can I hang out? I'm like, man, sit your ass down.
Right.
I ain't going to kick you out.
Yep.
And then we have a sign on the door that says, one person in the humidor at a time, please. Because ours is a walk-in and, 9 out of 10 people completely disregard that and walk right in.
Yeah.
But I'll have groups that, like, they rode together. And so I'm like, just go. I was like, y'all are literally riding around in a car together. Like, it's one thing if it's strangers. But I do have a few guys that have been coming in that I can tell they're, like, freaking out about it. So they're wearing gloves and they're wearing their mask. But they're touching everything. And I'm like, hey, jackass. You're pretty much supposed to change yours out anytime you touch anything.
Yep.
Like, people are so dumb. And then he's, like, worried about me putting his cigars in the bag because I'm not wearing gloves. But he's wearing gloves. And I'm like,
well,
you freaking sheep.
Yeah. But here's the other thing, too. So, like, all right, in a scenario like that, I agree with you 110%.
But if you're that scared and worried about it, you shouldn't even be going out then. If it's that big of a problem, you should be staying home. I
agree. My store, we have done everything in our power to try and sanitize it best we can, to the point where we have a electrostatic sanitizing company that's been coming once a week and electrostatic sanitizing the entire showroom.
What kind of witchcraft is that?
Basically, picture a mister, like one of those pump jars, like you have like insecticide. Mm-hmm. Picture that. And it's a chemical that's a vapor that is clear that gets electrostatically charged. And when the vapor comes in contact with virus and bacteria molecules, it kills them.
Like makes them explode.
Sure. So basically, like, all right, if I came into your garage right now and I misted your computer down on your desk, any kind of virus or bacteria on the computer, on your cup of water, on your phone, anything like that would be killed. However, if you lifted the computer up, the virus is underneath the computer.
Right. It's only surface.
Right. So but again, it's tip top. So we're doing that once a week, and then we're only allowing people that are actually buying something. We're not allowing people to shop. You have to know what you want, and if you don't know what you want, but you have an idea, we can let you in and kind of get an idea. We were doing masks and gloves. Now we're just doing masks because gloves they're stupid. And then I have the little cue lines that say, caution, do not cross. I have those to keep them off the counters. But people are stupid, man. They literally lean on the rope and then
people ignore that shit. They don't care. They're like, oh, I'm not even gonna there's a sign literally like 6 by 5. They're gonna completely ignore it and do exactly what they're not supposed to do.
And then people get weirded out because I need to take their driver's license. And I'm holding their driver's license. I'm like, hey, it's that time, And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, you got to back up and, show me the goods. And they're like, oh, so now you want me to take my mask off? Well, yeah, back the fuck up. Put some social distancing. Take down the mask. Don't cough in my face so I can see that you are the person on the driver's license. Thanks a lot, pal. What's up, girl?
Is that Dom?
Baby.
It is.
So, and yeah, Dan, I've heard stories like your New York City story. Oh, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. And obviously the 5 boroughs is no bueno when it comes to that kind of exotic stuff, so to speak. But Smith & Wesson's in Massachusetts too. So they're even more batshit crazy. And dude, having to send stuff and deliver stuff, and that's why a lot of people, they call me up and they're like, "Hey, I have a warranty or repair. Do I need to send it through you?" And I say no. I say you deal with the manufacturer. You talk to them, because if it comes through my store, it has to come back to my store. And I don't want that. If they mail it, then they can mail it back to you. Done.
Most important question, though.
Yes.
What's up with these yellow Galax?
They're really good looking. There's a couple in there that are, thank you, Caterpillar Man. There's a couple in there that are not so good looking. I don't know if they're just runty or it's the dominance thing because there's so many in the cage. I don't know. But they have them set up and they're looking tip top, man. They really are. So I don't know if it's worth that kind of money because I'm not a fraud guy, but they look good.
How many Vitatis is it worth? That's the better question.
That's between you and you know who. It's up to you. I'm sure if you made him an offer that he couldn't refuse, he wouldn't refuse it.
I honestly don't even know how many of those little fuckers I have right now.
Dude, find out, man.
Like, I know it's not a ton, but I know I have another like 4 or 5 that are about to sprout legs, and I got to move them into the transfer container before they go into the grow out bin. But I don't know. I don't have anywhere to put Galax either. So
You'd make room.
I mean, I can always make room, but
You always make room.
If they're that small, I mean, I could put them in something temporary and then figure out a bigger situation.
Justin, you have a question?
Currently, let's check the cameras. They've been separated all day, but we're supposed to have some rain and stuff rolling in tomorrow and the next day. I really think it was less to do with the rain and more to do with the colder temperatures we had the last 2 days. Like, we had a pretty serious temperature drop where it was in like the 50s at night. Yeah, no, they're just staring at each other right now. I think he wants to go at it again, but she's like, "Nah, kid, take a break." That's what it's looking like to me. But they were locked a lot. The last 48 hours, they've been locked a lot. So, feeling very good about it.
What's funny is I just tried to go on Instagram again. It kicked me out. But Matt, I want to let you know, I thought I was following you. I'm not. So now I am. Don't be upset. Dude, coffee's the greatest thing in the world. It really is. Adios, Dan.
Bye, Colgan. Colgate.
Colgate is the only toothpaste I use. Actually,
I'm a Crest guy.
I'm a little bottle. You squeeze the bottle. I don't like the rolly tube. It grosses me out. Too much of a mess.
Yep, I gotta get the incubator running. I gotta get the new egg box set up. I'm like, when it comes to eggs and stuff, I absolutely refuse to be caught with my pants down, kind of like Jake was, where, egg showed up and he's like, "I don't have an egg box. I don't have an incubator. Like, let me use yours." Like, I had my incubator plugged in like all last year, and it wasn't even anything in it. It was just running. But I used it for fruit fly cultures, because fruit fly cultures produce faster if you keep them in like the low 80s, like 80.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, I got nothing in here. Fruit flies will grow faster. So I just started putting in fruit fly cultures, and I just bumped it down to 80.
Hey, man, how many generations before Heidi I will fly again?
I have no idea.
Okay. Oh, and Marie Mar, I'm drinking normal coffee, nothing special.
In the Pumilio tank, though, I have these little, like, they're not fruit flies. They're smaller. They're almost like gnats. And I don't know where the hell they came from, but every time I open the door, they're, like, there. And they're, like, flying. And so I, like, try and spray them all down and kill them.
Or at least knock them down so the frogs can eat them.
I don't even think, like, they're so small, I don't even the frogs would be, like...
Oh, you think they're just gnats?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know where they're coming from. They're just there.
Yeah. My roommate used to get really bad gnats with the crested gecko diet that you have when you crust these.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which it wasn't that big a deal because the minute he got rid of the food or the crusty food, they were gone. Wherever they went, they went. So,
see, I always took when it got all dried out like that, or even if there was just a bunch of uneaten. When I had a dubia colony, I just take all that extra all that extra Pangea that they didn't eat, and just throw the cups in there, and they'd clean them. I mean, clean, like there wasn't a speck left of that stuff. Which was nice because it kind of gut loaded them. I wasn't wasting Pangea because that stuff ain't cheap. It's like $20 a pound.
Oh yeah,
So my dubia, man, they loved it. It was
nice. I miss my roaches.
I don't like wasting that kind of stuff, especially when you're spending that much money on it. Want it to go to something, but I got some calcium clay substrate for the little Ranatomea froglets.
And that's the recipe you got from Reed?
That's not the recipe. There's a guy, Glassbox Tropical, sells it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I looked into making it, and it's too many ingredients and too much work. Honestly, I'm like, I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah. Well, was Reed making it himself?
I don't know. I think he was buying it from the same guy because he's the one who told me about him selling it. He sent me the link to it.
Okay.
It was kind of expensive, and there's apparently someone else that sells it that I might go talk to next. But I took a shallow deli cup and put a handful in each, and then like moistened it up because it comes dry, and so then I smoothed it out, and then I threw some springtails on there, and that's to get like the frogs to go and sit on it because the whole point is it's a calcium substrate basically, and Ranatomea and Uophaga, the calcium is very important, especially when you're dealing with younger animals.
Okay.
And so the whole point is you put food on that. The frogs come and sit on that and absorb that calcium through contact, but it's not dangerous to them or anything like that. And,
nice.
Apparently you can get plants to grow in it and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, that was always a thing because I never understood how you can't dust fruit flies. You know what I mean?
You can't dust springtails. Yeah.
You can dust how do you dust a fruit fly? Doesn't it?
I have a little cup that I pour them in. I put my calcium supplement in there, whatever supplement I'm using that day. I have them on a rotation.
Right.
And I put it in I took like a plastic can sort of deal that had some sort of like zucchini in it or something like that, and cut that in half basically. Put my supplement in there, and then I take my fruit fly culture because they're wingless, so they can't fly, and dump them into that, shake it up so they all get covered, and then I have a little like prescription pill bottle, and I'll pour all of them into that, and that's what I'll dump into the tank because that big, bulky dusting can is like, especially in like the small exos, it's too much. So I just put them in that pill bottle. They can't climb up the sides on that either. So that's my little system.
Nice. Okay, I didn't even know that. See, that shows how much I know about friggin' frogs.
Dom, I have RepCal, which is the pink label, which I believe has D3. I've got the multivitamin. It's by the same company. I've got Repashy Calcium Plus. I've got Repashy Vitamin A, which vitamin A is really important for dart frogs. And then I have Super Pig, which is just a pigment enhancer. That's just something I'll throw in extra sometimes. I don't use it very often. But it's just got carotenoids in it and stuff that help bring out the colors and stuff. But I don't know that it really makes that big of a difference. But and then sometimes I just won't dust at all. It's okay to give them a couple feedings that don't have supplements. Like, it's not going to hurt them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've got a rotation of that, and so I feed my frogs 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and basically, I start with the Rep Calcium or Rep Cal. I don't even know what it's called. It's just the pink labeled stuff, and I'll start with that. And then next feeding, they'll get the multivitamin.
That's Repascina has a leopard gecko on the front, and like
that's the Calcium Plus.
Okay, I use that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, like every feeding they get a new thing, but they only get the vitamin A like twice a month maybe, and that's because that stuff like they need it, but too much can do some damage. Like it's not good for them to have a ton. Like it's easy to overdo it with that. So definitely not something that I do every feeding. The vitamin A is most important for the breeding females and stuff, and that Calcium Plus apparently, according to Reed, has some vitamin A in it. So
okay, cool.
Not a lot, but
enough to be the supplement dose when you're not directly using it.
Right, and I don't clean out my the dusting cup. I don't clean that out. Like I leave it as is. That way there are some trace elements of the other stuff in it.
Sure.
I'm sure none of it's good because I'm sure if you leave it out long enough, calcium doesn't have a very long shelf life outside of. See you later. Ring them on. A lot of those supplements don't have terribly long shelf lives once they're open and the seal is broken. So
I don't know, man. Part of me thinks that's a lot of like must have an expiration date kind of thing by law, even though it doesn't.
I just mean in terms of like potency, though.
Yeah, probably.
But I keep mine in the refrigerator, which apparently lengthens the shelf life.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I'll try that. Interesting.
And then my fruit flies, I have some Repashy bug burger, and I made some, and I chopped it up into little tiny cubes, and I have them frozen in the freezer. I'll take out some of that, and I will throw that to the fruit flies like once or twice a week as well.
Dude,
just to kind of gut load them a little bit. And
Herr Wagner.
Sean, are you working?
So, not to interrupt.
I want Sean to come on here and tell us the story.
Yeah, he needs to come on here. I never could mix bug burger appropriately. Sorry, man. Next time I get a batch, maybe I will. I'll have to move when I get the batch.
Sean, we were talking about the FedEx debacle.
Yeah, I thought that was my packaging, and I was like, "Oh my god, he bubble wrapped the shit out of it." I'm getting my rack. I'm getting my rack, and then Justin was like, "No, there's a bad story with that box," and I was like, "Okay." Because I texted you, Sean.
That is kind of messed up to send a picture of it and then not give you any sort of story.
Look, I'll show you. I'll show you the text. It was funny. And obviously, I know that Sean is a very, very busy man. He has a family. He has a job and another business making beautiful racks and cages. But literally, I felt so bad. Quality FedEx shipping is what he says. And I put, "Is that mine?" with a little heart face.
He just got a.
And he just never. He just
middle finger emoji.
So. Oh man. Yeah, man. Androgynous bicolors are awesome. I love those little bugs.
You know what's been really nice, and I told you this before. Like for some reason, I've been finding an odd amount of roaches around lately.
Oh, you're feeding that?
Like in the snake room, I keep finding a roach that like is like going across the floor, and so I grab it. I'm like, free food, and I just toss it there. Did it with the Gracilis too.
Cool, good shit.
Saves me a trip to the bait shop for crickets.
Yeah, right. I actually, those who know me know I have a couple tattoos, and my second tattoo I ever got was a Babiker's Jacksoni on my upper arm, and it was actually that was the first scorpion I ever bred. It's some bullshit. All right.
That was the species I was particularly interested in when I first got into scorpions.
Dude, they were the best, man. I got my first species I actually successfully bred in captivity was Jacksoni and Gygus. I had a pair of Gygus, and I had like two pairs of Jacksoni. And
I just love that rusty red. Just that rusty red is just gorgeous, man.
Gorgeous. And the Jacksoni were cool, but the Gygus Dude, they literally had post-coital cuddle sessions where the man would come up behind the girl and like hold her.
Ghoster?
He would spoon her. It was a spooning thing. I only saw the Jacksoni do it once, but the guy did it every time that they bred. But anyway, I got this tattoo and I got it in that rich, rusty red Jacksoni colors, and the tattoo came out flawless. But for whatever reason, it turned clear yellow, and I lost all the pigment in the tattoo. So now
You're just so white.
I'm translucent like a gecko. Now I'm at the point now where I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna either make it like a bicolor or a crassicauda, just make the tail thicker, darken it in, grayscale the whole thing, and just make a black scorpion. But I gotta get around to doing that. You know what? I'm not bashful. I'll friggin' show it on my super white skin. It's kind of hard to do this.
Oh, damn, boy, is the full moon out?
Yeah, right? But you can see it actually.
I saw that at Carbafest.
I think you did, maybe. But the problem is that it lost all of its red color. All of it.
I stick to black ink.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks.
I prefer black and black ink. I know like by the time I'm old and decrepit and stuff, it's gonna be like a blob, and people are gonna be like, "What's that?" Be like, "I don't remember."
Yeah. There's like one or two other tattoos I want that have like bright, vibrant color, and there it is. That thing's awesome. I don't know, man. I think I like your snake the best because
I think that's my favorite too.
Yeah. The snake is the best.
Everyone asks, they're like, why didn't you get it finished? Because it's shaded in like the first half.
Yeah, but that's how it's
well, not even the first half, the first like third, but it fades. And they're like, "Oh, did it hurt?" And that's why you didn't get it finished. I'm like, no, I just liked how it looked. Looks like an inland taipan.
Yeah, right. Love it. Or blackhead. Funky.
Or blackhead.
Funky looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, after that scorpion tattoo just bled out, I'm like, well, shit, do I ever want to do color again? Because clearly my skin don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been the ink that the guy was using. Who knows? I'm just happy it still looks like a friggin' scorpion in HD. It just doesn't have any color.
What are you going to get, Dom?
Yeah, Dom.
You're going to get Bill's face with his beard?
Or as Jake wants to put it, he wants the tattoo of his face on his face just slightly to the left.
Is he going to get a teardrop?
Yeah.
I accidentally FaceTimed Dom on Instagram the other day. Like my finger hit the little button. I didn't even know it. She's like, "Hello?" I was like, "Oh."
Well, wait. Didn't Billy do that to the group chat that one day? And I was the only one who answered.
She'll get a Snakes and Stogies logo for $500.
Nice.
Let me meet you in the middle and offer you 20.
Hey, I'll chip in 20.
40.
How about this, Dom? When you come down to South Florida, I will take you to my buddy's shop, and he will do it. And
It's in this awesome basement.
No, it's a legit shop.
It's in his garage.
The Snake and Stogies tattoo. The viper head with the cigar.
I mean, that's all I got. I'm a new homeowner. Jake ain't got it either.
Yeah. Jake ain't paid for it. Oh, man. So is Sean jumping in or what? Did he text you?
I don't know. I think he's got to go to work soon. What time is it there?
It's 9:55 here, so that means it's 8:55 by him, right?
I don't know.
Or no, he's on Mountain Time?
He's in Colorado.
Yeah, is that Mountain Time? I'd like to assume so. It's the Rockies.
I think so.
Yeah.
7:55.
Mountain Time.
We were gonna have you come on and explain go back through all the details and bring back up that fresh wound.
Yeah.
Throw some salt in it.
Well,
And make you relive it.
I don't look at it as him reliving a freshly salted wound and resalting it. I look at it as him having a beautiful podium and venue to vent his frustrations. I love to hear a good rant. I do. He should jump in. You should jump in. I'm talking like you're not watching this. You should jump in for 5-10 minutes just to show us, and then you can go do your work.
And you can go bust some Talibans.
Yeah. Fuck asses.
Dom says she's already the family disappointment. I have a hard time believing that. You work with penguins and stuff, and you have fancy dress suits because you're a businesswoman.
And some yummy halter tops.
What the halter top?
Halter top is where it's like it's a dress or a shirt, and it ties behind the girl's neck, and it comes in like a triangle.
Oh yeah, those. I got you. Yeah. I see this on Google.
You're Googling a halter top?
Yeah, why not?
I'm just a pervert, and I know what they are.
Fair.
Oh, damn it!
Phil's on a watch list somewhere again.
Not for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know what emoji Sean put, but
it's the angry one.
Oh, on my computer, it's just a bunch of squares.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch of cursing emojis with the
the red face with the explicit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All I see is a bunch of squares because my computer is old as dirt.
Your computer's like, what's an emoji?
Yeah, right. No, there's emojis. They're just like from AOL 5.0.
So what is up with your scrub?
Oh, my scrub. So today's Saturday. I didn't check on him today because I haven't been in there today. But Wednesday night, I was not in the mood to thaw stuff out, so I gave him a live crawler. And I kind of wanted to watch him hunt because I've yet to actually watch him hunt. And I threw it in there, and he lives in the lip of the vision. And there's a bunch of grapevine in there and a water dish, very minimalistic cage. I want to put some shelves in. I think I'm going to get those shelves that when you put them in the corner of a 90-degree angle, little spikes shoot out to anchor it to the drywall.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to do that and just have the blades go into the plastic of the vision because it's going to be a little tiny cut, And maybe put like a drop of super glue on each one and then shoot it in there just to give him shelf platforms.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. So I haven't got around to it, but he lives in the lip of the vision. So I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a live crawler in there, let it go, and I want to sit back and watch him hunt. And I did. And dude, it was so cool. Like of all the snakes I've watched hunt live prey, it was just so cool because you see like the head. I'll try and do this with the computer screen. The head like comes down and then like comes back up. And then like comes down and like this is the mouse here and it's just like doing this. And then the mouse is like, oh, and he gets ready and then the mouse goes like this and he just goes back up into the top. And finally he got him. And I was like, all right, I'll leave him alone. Next day I go in and he's up in the lip. And then last night I go in there because I was going to feed some of my smaller stuff. And he's in the water bowl, completely submerged, with just the top of his head out of the water. Like, I guess he didn't want to go all the way under. His pupils are literally slits, but it was pitch black dark in there when I walked in. So he was dead asleep, underwater, completely submerged. And I sat there and I was like, is he dead? Is he dead?
Mean, that's what I would think if I see, it's pitch black in the eyes or
pupils slit. Yeah. And I look at him and I'm like, he's not dead. He's asleep. So I flipped it because when I open the door, I let the hallway light go in because most of the stuff is nocturnal. I don't want to freak him out too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking at him like, I'm going to turn the light on. So I turn the light on and the pupils don't dilate. And I was like, son of a bitch, he's asleep. He's got to be asleep.
Dead ass asleep.
Because he's not like, he's
Yeah.
really perfect with just this top section out of the water. And like you could see the meniscus of the water around like the corona of his head. And then I took my phone out and I took a picture with no flash. Then I took a picture with flash. You watch the pupil stay the same, but you watch his head go like this. Underwater, he goes like that, underwater.
That's kind of creepy.
I was like, he was freaking asleep.
And
I back up a little bit, and then he comes up out of the water, and you watch him go and just like sigh and just sit there. And I was like, all right.
He's like, what do you want? I'm like, asshole, I was sleeping.
Right? So I took that picture to Andy. And because Andy's got, a bunch of different scrubs. And I sent the picture to Andy, and I was like, dude, what is this thing doing? It's asleep underwater. And he said that he's never seen that before. And he was going to ask some other people, but he thinks it's because I don't have a hide cave.
I mean, maybe, but even then, and like in the wild, it's not exactly. And I don't even see that being a last resort kind of thing.
Yeah, but you think about it. I don't have it set up nice. It's a friggin' dog bowl. So he's in the dog bowl, maybe, and all of his coils were touching the rim of the dog bowl under the water. Maybe it was just comfy. Maybe he felt secure. Maybe he was stressed and just needed like a bubble bath. I don't know.
You know what I have used for hides, like cheap hides?
What's that?
Bigger carpets. You know those cat litter pans that are made of like the baking soda, paper, and pulp stuff?
Yeah.
I used to buy some of those and cut a little hole in the side.
Sure.
And those were great because they like actually helped with the smell a lot, and they were super absorbent, and you can get a 3-pack for like $8, I think.
All right, yeah, I'll give that a try.
And they're disposable.
Yeah.
And they're plenty big enough. I had a really decent sized carpet in one at one point. So.
All right, yeah, I gotta go to Pet Supermarket tomorrow, buy dog food, and I'll pick up a couple, try them out.
I loved them. Yeah. I mean, they were sturdy enough too to where the snake could sit on top.
Oh, okay.
They have some rigidity to them, so
yeah.
And if the snake happens to crap on them or whatever, like I said, they're super absorbent, so it sucks all that up right away.
I keep forgetting that we have the ability to screen share. So let me see if I have that picture on here, because sometimes my iCloud doesn't update all the way. Oh yeah, here it is. So this is him asleep underwater. That's literally what I walked into. I don't get it, man. And like, here, let me try and see if I can zoom in. Hold on. Whoop. You can see that's the only part of his body sticking out of the water. And he was just out cold.
That's bizarre, dude.
Yeah. I don't get it. Cray. And he's so dark, man, right now. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. So dark. He's been dark for probably like 2 weeks. Oh,
dude, Sean's getting serious. He's about to go to FedEx.
Going to FedEx.
On that note, you don't know. Everyone else doesn't know the story yet, but the mail-in copy lady, I did say I was going to convince my sergeant to let me get a search warrant and shut their whole place down.
Nice. Nice.
I can articulate this.
By the way, I love your respirator goatee.
Oh, yeah?
I do. It's good.
It's actually just short enough that my gas mask fits over it, so it works out great.
Perfect. You got Avons?
No.
No?
No.
Oh. I don't know what kind of funding your department has.
They have all the funding in the world for the SWAT team. Yeah. Nothing for anyone.
They save it for the sexy department.
Does your SWAT team have Avons?
Probably. They have everything.
Yeah.
They have 3 of everything.
I have a friend of mine. He bought like 10 of them like a year ago. And I think he only paid like $700 or $800 a piece for them, no filters. and I know he just sold them online for $3K each.
Some prepper in Tennessee's like, hell yeah, brother.
He's like, 50 filters. I can't find the mask.
I've been waiting for this day for 20 years.
Right. So, are we going to hear this awesome story while you get dressed?
Pretty much.
Let's do it. What do you got, sir?
Paint us a picture.
Paint us a picture. Oh, God. Where do I begin this nonsense? So, a gentleman reaches out to me because of Justin's rack and it being more arboreal focused. And he does cresties and gargoyles and leechies. So he's like, I want a couple, just a couple racks using. He wanted to use the shoebox, the tall shoebox from the Container Store to do hatchlings. So bust those out, package them up. So in between all the sheets, as each piece gets laid into this box, there's a small little green foam that I put in between these sheets so that they don't rub and they don't scratch.
It's like that dense, like plant foam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I put those, and it's just so I don't damage them, because that's the point. I want it to make it there in good condition. Then I wrap them in plastic even more so they can't move around, and they've got the cushion. And then I put, I've got styrofoam that I'll put usually around it to pad it, just in case something pressure does come down from outside the box. There's a styrofoam on there. And then I use giant, like 1.5 or 1 inch thick foam corner ends to put on each of the corners.
Awesome.
Okay, that's fairly well done.
I will say the packaging on mine was pretty on point.
Dude, that packaging sounds top notch, man. I'm not metaphorically, jerking you off. That sounds way better than most of the stuff I get from in the mail.
Yeah. And that's the point, is I want it to make it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And not be jacked up, preferably. As we all found out, it wasn't enough. So I mailed this out originally I want to say it was the 1st of April.
Wow.
Okay. So I mail it. It's a Thursday. I want to say it was the 1st, maybe it's the 2nd. All right, Thursday. I take it to my local mail-in copy. That's where I drop everything off. FedEx picks it up from there. I drop it off. FedEx picks it up. It's supposed to be there Tuesday the next week. So it's coming along. Monday morning, I look and check. It's still sitting 2 miles from me at their hub here in my town. So I'm like, okay. I make a quick phone call, and I'm just trying to see what happened, what's going on, and if they still think it's going to make it there by Tuesday. So it said, well, they had to relabel it because they couldn't determine what package it was. And I asked why, and they say they don't know because they don't document that. They just knew they had to relabel it. So, okay. And it's going to go out. It's going to actually go out Tuesday morning. All right. Let the customer know this is what's going on. Sorry for the delay. Okay. All good. So it goes out Tuesday. And it would have been probably Monday the next week or Tuesday the next week, because it took about 7 days or so to get there, to try and get there. And the customer is actually the one who messages me. He goes, hey, they're saying they refused to deliver my package. Huh. And I look it up, and it straight up says, exception, driver refused to deliver package. Okay. I call FedEx again. And I'm like, what's going on? What happened that he refused to deliver the package? What's going on? FedEx's response is, we don't know. It's just a checkbox they hit on their little scanner.
Right.
There's no description. There's no other documentation whatsoever. He just refused, and that's all they know is what he checked. Okay. So I worked it out with the customer just to have him pick it up from the hub. Since there was obviously an issue, he can just go pick it up. Okay, no problem. They say, no problem. We'll get that arranged. So I'm sitting there, and I can see that it says pending approval for pickup. So they haven't released it for him to come get it yet. Day goes by. 2 days goes by. 3 days goes by. Still pending approval for pickup. And then all of a sudden, it's getting shipped back. So 3 days later, it's all of a sudden getting shipped back to me because it's damaged. That's what it says. Okay. Call FedEx again. And I was not happy already. And I was like, I'm going to ask you the question is, do you know what's damaged and what happened? And I was like, is it just a checkbox? Is that going to be your answer kind of thing? And yeah, there's no documentation whatsoever. They just marked a checkbox and it's coming back to me. Okay. Fine, whatever. Let the customer know it's damaged. If there's anything wrong, I'm going to fix it. Don't worry. I'll get it back to you as fast as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Comes around. I'm waiting. So this last Thursday, so just a few days ago, it says that they attempted a delivery at my, so it's attempted delivery, recipient refused the package. I found this out as I woke up at, I was a little awake already, but that's what, later in the afternoon. I work nights. So yeah. I find this out. I go to my wife. Hey, did you ever refuse a package or see anything? Nope. Huh. Okay. I check porch, everything like that. Nothing sitting there. Okay. I call FedEx. FedEx tells me they don't know why.
Because why would
and I did.
Right. Why would?
Huh?
Because why would they?
At the rate they're going, they don't know anything. So
apparently, their customer service and then their actual physical operations are two completely separate entities that have nothing to do with one another.
Yep.
We're going to get to that, and there's another level of separation there that I discovered when I finally found the package. But so okay, I verify my address with them. Where is it supposed to go? And they straight up ask, "What's your address?" This is my address. Is that correct? Yep. Okay. And originally they were like, "We're going to have it to you the 21st." So that's next week. And I'm like, no. You're not going to do that. I need it sooner.
Wait. Is it still in your local area?
I have it now. I got it today.
No, when they told you the 21st, was it still sitting around the corner?
No, it had already gone to Massachusetts and had come back. So it was back. It's somewhere around here. It's somewhere around here.
I was saying, was the end user in Massachusetts? The customer was in Massachusetts?
Yeah, the customer was in Massachusetts. Okay. That's where it went. While it was waiting for him to get picked up, it was somehow magically damaged, and then they sent it back to me. They said they attempted to deliver it to me on Thursday, but I refused. Okay, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, whatever. I call up. They have no idea. I verify the address with them. They say, yep, that's on point. Like I said, they originally wanted to kick it out till next week. No way in hell that can work. I need it tomorrow, now. And I say, okay. And did you lose me there for a second?
No, you're a little breaking up, but you're good now.
Okay. So they guarantee, in the end, they guarantee me that they would have it to me Friday. Guarantee it. This is after I've been transferred 4 times and about 3 hours on the phone. And one of those transfers was pretty funny because it lasted about all but 10 seconds because as soon as she answered, I just started railing a little bit. And she was like, "Oh, I can't help you. I'm going to transfer over here by click."
Panic! Hit the button!
Oh, I'm going into a tunnel.
What was even funnier is she answered as domestic, and she ended up transferring me to international, which she technically should have been responsible, but wasn't. Yeah. And so I wasn't stupid. I realized I kind of railed right off the bat. So at least the next one, I pumped those brakes a little bit.
Sure.
To get me in the door so I don't just get transferred again. Because it took 45 minutes after that transfer to get the phone to answer. But yeah, so they promised me Friday. Promise it. Okay, no problem. Again, before I hung up the phone, I verified the address. Yes, that's it. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I go about my night. I go to work. I wake up. It's 1-ish in the afternoon, whatever it is. And I look, and it says delivered and signed for. Sweet. Awesome. I come downstairs, and I just, where's my package to my wife? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't got no package. What? So I open it back up, and I'm looking at it, and it shows who signed for it. And it's a gentleman by the name of Jim. So there's no Jim here.
Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah. So I get on the phone again, calling around, asking it. Said, yeah, it was delivered, and this person signed for it. Okay, but where did you deliver it at so I can go get my package? They refused to tell me where they delivered it at. Okay.
Because at this point, they probably think you're Liam Neeson in Taken, dude, and that you're going to freaking find everybody and take them out.
Yeah. I probably try. I don't know. I mean, with me, worst case scenario, I'm going to write you for speeding. That's about it. But I'll make sure you get a speeding ticket. No. But, so yeah. And I go through another couple hours and transfers and everything else. And they finally transfer me to the local hub here. And that guy's like, yeah, everything is showing delivered and that it was signed for. It was not delivered to your house. Okay, can you tell me? And at first he's like, no, not really. Okay. And then looking into it, he starts you can tell he's looking into it. And he's like, oh, well, this is a business. And so I'm not really worried about it as much if it was someone's house. And he tells me it's this. And as soon as he says the address, though, it's the mailing copy in which I drop stuff off at. So I'm like, okay, at least that's not horrible. That at least has some sort of making sense.
Right.
Okay. And it's like, okay, I know what that is. And I tell him, he's like, all right. And I tell him, if there's something wrong, I'm going to call you back. Give me your number. So I get his direct number.
Cool.
I call the mailing copy, and I'm talking to the young lady that's there. And I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. Do you have my package? And she's like, no, I don't have your package. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't have a package that looks anything like what you described whatsoever. Okay. So I get back on the phone with them, with FedEx, and I tell them, hey, they're saying they don't have it. What's going on? He goes, well, it shows delivered to that address. I was like, I know it shows delivered to that address, but they don't have it. What's going on? So he goes, let me call my driver. I'll call you back. It takes time, 45 minutes, whatever. He calls me back. And his driver describes my box to a T and describes the mailing copy to a T and everything around it. He goes, no, I left it with the clerk at that place. Okay. I go to call mailing copy back. They're closed now.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just go first thing in the morning. And I did. 10 o'clock this morning. I was there at the door. I walk inside and I'm like, hey, are you so-and-so? Yes. You remember me? And she's like, yes, but I don't have your package. And I'm like, and I explained to her what they're telling me. And I just was asked, can I search the place? I'll know my package if I see it.
Right.
And no problem. Go right ahead. It's not a big place. I search every cabinet in that place because I'm paranoid and everything else. So I search everything. It is not there. So I'm like, okay. And while at mail and copy, I call the direct line number again, back at FedEx local hub. The gentleman does not answer. It's a lady who answers. He's off for the day. And I was like, okay, can you help me? And I start to explain it, and she stops me. And she's like, oh, that's this one? I'm like, yes. She goes, oh, I heard about that. And I'm like, okay, at least you're, informed.
Yeah.
Can you help me figure out what's going on? And she's like, I'm pretty sure that package is here in our building right now at the FedEx hub. And I'm like, are you sure? Because he was adamant yesterday that they delivered it. She's like, no, I'm pretty sure it's here. And so she's like, but give me a minute. Let me go put physical eyes on it. Let me find it. And I'll call you back. Okay. So I go. I wait. She calls me back. She goes, yep, I've got it. It's sitting on a cart ready to go. You know, what do you want done? And I'm like, do not touch it. You're the only person allowed to touch it anymore. Do not put it on a truck. Don't let anyone else touch it. I will be there and I will pick it up. I go and I park my truck. She said, park truck over here. I go. And I don't know if you guys showed pictures of it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did earlier.
Okay. Yeah. When the door opened up, that's what I saw. And I was, holy crap. What'd you get? What happened? She's like,
I don't know.
it got damaged. I'm like, oh, no shit. So that is the wonderful world of FedEx.
At least you got it back.
Yes.
Even though
with most of the pieces not usable.
I was going to say, I don't know if that's any better.
It's the principle of the thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I just don't appreciate the lack of documentation, and maybe that's my career field talking there.
No. You're absolutely right. It's not your career field. It's how it needs to be. If they can have a tracking number where they can find an envelope that goes across the goddamn planet, but they can't find a 4x2 box, they're out of their mind. What that tells me is that some asshole ran it over with a forklift and they don't want to admit to it. That's what that is. And it took them a week to figure out the story and choreograph how they were going to get it to you.
So one of the funny things is there's a little sticker on the box that they put there, and they checked marked that a report was filed when they damaged it. But I was told there's nothing documenting anything.
It's funny Cox says that. Cox says use UPS next time.
On that, integrated to the website, and yeah, pretty much going to use them from now on. It sounds like, or at least give them a shot.
Sure.
Their bar is not very high. Don't damage my stuff and get it there on time most of the time. Not even all the time. Shit happens. I get it.
What I think is funny is there's like 12 FedEx stores or hubs in my like 10-mile radius. There's like 10 or 12 of them, easy. But when I'm not home to sign for something, they drop it off at a certified facility down the street, which happens to be a CrossFit gym. So my fat ass has to go in the CrossFit gym and be like, you have my package? And they're like, yeah, please sign here.
I'm not here to work out. I just want my box.
Right, I just want my box.
And maybe a vitamin water.
If it makes you feel better, Sean, I just told Justin earlier that I had a rifle shipped from a distributor to my store. The distributor's in Las Vegas. They were shipping it to my store in South Florida, and it was missing for a whole week. And my employer's wife basically was reaming every single FedEx employee in customer service a new butthole. And finally, we got to a supervisor in Fort Lauderdale who said, oh, yeah, I've seen that box. It's in our annex. But unfortunately, I don't have the staff to get it out of the annex and drive it to your store. I said, well, I have FedEx guys that come to my store 4 times a day. I got 2 different air guys and 1 ground guy that delivers and picks up. So you can't just throw it on that truck? Well, no, sir, I don't have anyone to walk over there and get it out of the annex. But you just told me you walked it. You can't pick up the box? It's a 4-foot box.
Yeah.
You know, I said,
no, they can't do that.
Yeah. I said, if you don't get it to me by the 20th, I'm reporting it stolen to the ATF. And he was like, well, sir, I can't guarantee that. Maybe the 22nd. I'm like, well, how about you get it to the 22nd?
Yeah.
The most ironic part of it all is like, this is literally a logistics company. Yeah, exactly.
That's their whole world. And they can't do it right.
Oh, God.
So, unfortunately for FedEx, I mean, in my experience with them, is 3 out of 4 packages gets lost or gets delayed or is never on time, and they have bogus excuses. Because it'll still show up in the town at 3 o'clock in the morning, but then it'll sit there for 2 days.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with me and Jake's. Is like it was in Savannah, which Savannah's only like a 45-minute drive from here. Like that's where our FedEx guys run out of, is FedEx or Savannah, and it was like, it's in Savannah, it's on the truck, and then it just never showed up, and I was like,
no. With yours, Justin, they attempted a delivery at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Which I was like, I looked up end of day for FedEx, and it's technically like 8 o'clock.
Yes. So, yeah, like, that would be technically, it's guaranteed by their end of day, which is 8 p.m., which their guarantee is nothing, because I tried to say, well, you guaranteed it according to this. And they're like, no, there's no guarantee. Okay.
Oh,
it's crap.
Passing the buck. And now
and I'm sure there are just routes that are spectacular and people don't have issues.
But it ain't yours.
Not mine. And not Massachusetts. So one of my thoughts was, at the very beginning, when it sat here in Greeley for 3 days or 4 days, I think they jacked it up then, and they jacked up the label so bad that they couldn't read it. So they had to figure out what it was.
Yep.
And then they just had to push it along. And it got back there. The guy, and what happened is probably the driver saw it, realized how trashed it was, refused to deliver it to my customer. He was like, this thing is jacked. And then here we are.
Do you think so it did make it to Massachusetts at some point?
Yes, it did. It went out for delivery to him, and then the driver refused to deliver it. So again, the theory is it was jacked up before it got to that driver. And when the driver probably went to go like look at it, he was like, that thing is too jacked up to go. Because it's so one whole side of it, the long side that's like 58 inches or whatever, is smashed in about 3 inches. And then one of the bottoms is obliterated. Like the cardboard is obliterated, it's just tape.
How does that happen?
Dude, who knows? See, I'm lucky. Like my express guy that drops off my deliveries and picks up my deliveries, like he's really cool because I get stuff picked up from work usually. I get the same guy every time. Like he knows my name. He's like, every time he comes in, he's like, hey Justin, how's it going? You know. And I've had a few issues with Reptiles Express, not with Reptiles Express, but I had my old address on Reptiles Express, and it has that as a default. I've deleted it now, but this happened like 2 or 3 times where I'd schedule a pickup, but I would think I put in my work address, but actually it just set the default to my old address. And so this guy, like after the second time, he's like, is it going to be here every time? He's like, if I see another address other than this one, is that wrong? And I was like, yeah. He's like, okay, so if I see it being picked up from any other address other than your house, I should just come here. I was like, yeah. He's like, okay. So I was like, that is awesome. Like he knows, and I'm sure he's probably a little irritated that he's gone to, there's like a 5-minute drive from that house, my old house with Doug to work. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, it's not like he's really going out of his way or anything like that, but I'm sure it's irritating because he's like, there's no package, so.
Yeah.
Dom, I thought the same thing. Dom said, sounds like someone's last day at work and they were just trying to let off some steam. You happen to be the poor bastard that got the...
Yeah, was there any like boot prints or tire marks on it?
No. Okay. It was just destroyed and squished.
Gone. Just gone.
Unless someone did actually do that and they're like, well, now we got to cover this up. Quick, run it over with the truck like 3 times.
Quick, rip the whole back off and just make a back out of duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. But cutting it off, one of the things is it appears that it was taped twice, too. There was 2 very separate layers of tape. And I don't know if they were just paranoid and they just really, really taped it up.
One guy did it, another guy came in and said, oh, no, that's not good enough.
Yeah, right.
He'll never buy that.
Jeez. Yeah.
But and that's one of the interesting thing is I've got a little baggie in there that has all the screws used to mount all these racks together. That bag is shredded, and there's no screws in there. They're all gone. I think I found one that was stuck in the plastic.
Damn. And the icing is the inspection thing, saying the inspection was done and everything was.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. And that's part of the little thing is everything. All the contents are included. No, it's not, but whatever.
Were they the expensive white screws?
No, thank goodness.
Oh, thank God. Thank God. That would piss me off so bad as if they lost the white screws.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But, and this is part of the damage to some of the shelves and stuff like that is the impact from it hitting the screws, because the screws, the indentation on it is just the screws getting shoved into the plastic. And you can see the whole outline of the screw, and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And the screws were wrapped up in paper. So I had the bag, and then I wrapped the little plastic bag in a bunch of paper and then shoved it in there and then packed that space with paper because it was empty space. And somehow this thing got shredded.
Fuck.
Well, we'll put this story up there with like the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot of, we'll never know exactly. We'll never know the truth.
Yeah. On a lighter note, how's my Darwins?
They're doing fantastic.
Good.
Next year we can have it.
I messaged my buddy in Sweden about LASIK stuff, and he hasn't got back to me, but I think he's traveling, so I'll keep you posted.
You mean A-Fords?
Oh, A-Fords. You know what I meant.
Yeah. I figured it out.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
Goddamn detective.
No.
No.
If I became a detective, that would require me to work next to the brass, and I don't want to do that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Staying far away from those guys.
Right?
Yeah.
Not hanging out with the cool kids club.
So we got to get him on here for real and not just to vent about his frustrations.
I assume your schedule is much squirrelier than ours, though.
Yeah.
Are you on nights? Do you guys do like a month of nights and then a month of days?
No. We rotate once a year. So when I bid nights, I'm on nights for a year.
Damn.
But now, you guys do 2 on, 3 off?
No, we do 5 on, 4 off.
Oh, wow. But they're 12-hour shifts?
10s, or 10.25.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Still long. That's a lot.
I have a buddy. They were originally doing like every 2 weeks they were switching between days and nights.
That's fucked up.
Imagine. Yeah, man. And then they switched to like a month on, a month off. With days, like you switch days, and
even still, man, month on, month off. That's tough, man.
Well, I mean, like days and nights. Like you're off, you work a month of days, and then you work a month of nights. But like that adjustment,
that adjustment sucks. Yeah. And then, Sean, are you Alpha Bravo Charlie, or do you just have day and night?
We have 3 shifts.
Okay.
Days, swings, and then lates.
Gotcha.
And then 2 sides of the week. And then once every, because my week, so usually when I refer to a week, it's 9 days because 5 and 4.
Yeah.
Right.
So my week is 9 days in my head.
Yeah.
And so every 4 weeks for me, I get 5 days off.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know when you're free next, and we'll
we'll make it happen. Yeah, I'd love to have you show off some of the goods, both plastic and living.
The arsenal.
Oh, look, Carly's in.
Hey.
She says, "What's up, Sean?"
from the wilds of one of the two Dakotas.
Thought it was Minnesota.
I lost it there for a minute.
That's all right. You're back. I thought Carly Jones was from Minnesota.
Oh, she was living in Minnesota. I think she's in South Dakota now, North Dakota.
Oh.
She's in one of the Dakotas, I think. I could be wrong.
Interesting.
I can't keep up. She moves so much. She's pimping all over the world like Ludacris.
Yeah. Keeping that pimpin' strong, girl.
There we go. See?
Oh, so you are in Minnesota. Unfortunately, she says.
Neither of those places sound like fun. Sorry.
I think both of them sound like fun.
No thanks.
Minnesota is a beautiful country, and North Dakota is big sky country. I mean, can't go wrong with big sky country.
Sky's big no matter where you go, Phil.
Ha 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 ha.
It's the sky. She might as well be Canadian.
That's funny. Cox says she is a Midwestern fuck. She says sorry so much. Oh, he's out?
I reckon so. He's probably got to go to work. So.
Yeah, I figured as much. He's in his car going to work.
Yep.
Bye, Carly.
Oh, Dom is telling me she wants carpet python. Oh.
You're back.
Yeah. Because I'm probably outside of my house, so it wants to connect to the Wi-Fi and can't.
Ah, okay. We just assumed you were going to work and you got cut off.
Not there yet.
So Dom wants a carpet. Yeah, girl. I'll be right back.
Things are picking up, though. I mean, like, as far as the racks and stuff, is it keeping you pretty busy on your days off?
Yes, it is. When I have time to do it.
Mm-hmm. I'd imagine it can be kind of hard to juggle everything. You know, when you get off, you want to have a day to, like, decomp and...
That's
right.
So since COVID, I haven't had a day off.
Oh, that's right. Is it like, are you guys on complete lockdown there? Like, what's the...
Yes and no. So the county administration wants us, why we're working as much overtime and everything else right now. But we're, how do I put this? Because I'm not supposed to.
I mean, you guys don't have. You guys have a lot of cases. Like, is it prevalent where you are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, your DV stuff is higher right now because people can't be around each other.
Yeah, people aren't used to being locked up with their significant other for this long.
But
because they closed down the boat ramps and stuff here, so no one could go out in their boat, which doesn't make any sense. It's like, you're on a boat. How are you possibly going to catch this when everyone's out in a boat? But they just reopened all the boat ramps and stuff the other day, so now people are getting back out in the water. And from what I'm hearing through the grapevine is, like, our governor wants to have everything back to normal by, like, sometime in next month, like early next month, which, I mean, is not going to happen. But
it'd be nice.
Yeah, I think they should have just closed everything down for 2 weeks, and I think that would have helped a lot. But they're also they're walking that fine line where they're trying to keep the economy afloat and they're trying to keep everybody safe. And
yeah,
I feel like you can't do both. You can choose one.
So our governor said yesterday that he's not thinking about opening back up until a cure or vaccine is found and approved. So that could be months.
Yeah. Yeah, ours hasn't done that. I mean, I'm still working. Katie's still working, so the bills are still getting paid. It's just, even though I'm not gonna lie, it would have been nice to have a week or two off because I'd be hammering out magazine stuff, and I'll be doing more live streams and trying to record more podcast stuff. But
yeah,
it's whatever.
I tried to convince. So we have a bunch of weird things we have to follow. We can't we're basically supposed to avoid people. Be present. They're like, be present and be out there, but avoid people unless you have to. That's kind of their standpoint on it. I was really trying just to be like, can I just be at home? Because I'm supposed to avoid people anyways. So can I just stay at home and handle calls by phone if I can? I mean, I'll go if I have to, but
show up in your pajamas.
I'd rather. With
all your gear on still, like your vest and your utility belt and everything. You're like, what's the problem? What do you all want, man? I was watching Tiger King. What do you want?
Which would be actually hilarious because people who know me know that I rock Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pajamas and shit.
Nice.
I love it.
That's great.
I have no shame about it.
I know, Tampa. I have Billy's in Tampa, and then I have another friend in Tampa, and the COVID thing is getting crazy there. It's not too crazy here, but it's definitely supposedly South Carolina and my county in particular are doing very well in handling the whole thing. But I kind of don't know that I necessarily agree.
Everyone has their opinion.
Yep.
And I should keep my mouth shut more, I guess. I'm a uniform. I don't have an opinion right now. Neutral.
I mean, people are a lot of businesses here have closed, and everyone is doing a pretty good job of staying away from one another. But on the state level, I really think they should have just closed it and gotten it over with, ripped the Band-Aid. I think they could have done a lot, but
yeah,
I don't know. All the people in Hilton Head are freaking out, and of course that's all these Ohio transplants that freak out and do whatever the news tells them to, and they're pissed and wanting the sheriff to close things down. The sheriff's like, look, I got other things to worry about. We're doing everything we can. We're not going to go around ticketing people for being in large groups. If it's a really large group, that's one thing. But if there's 4 people walking together, we're not going to be like, hey, we'll see you in court. Here's your ticket. He's like, we have real crimes to go and handle.
So I gotten into an argument already about this a couple of times, but there was a certain individual who was very upset because there were several kids at the skate park skating. And they wanted us to come because in Colorado, it's a misdemeanor. Violate the stay-at-home order, it's a misdemeanor crime.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you need to come write these kids a ticket or, arrest them or something. And my response was, I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to charge kids who are just going out of their mind after 3 weeks of being locked in their house and they need to get out. Yeah. I'm not going to do it for kids. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. Would you rather them burglarize your vehicle or do you want them to go play at the skate park?
It's not like they're riding tandem on skateboards, spooning each other.
It's crazy, man. Well, I'll tell you this. I live on tennis courts. You guys can't see them, but they're literally I could throw my hat at it. And the gate was locked for years, and you had to go to the office during daylight hours, and someone was there to unlock it for you to use it. And it's only for the residents. So if you couldn't play tennis at 2 a.m, you just couldn't, even if you had lights. Well, I guess somebody was like, "Listen, it's stupid. All the kids in the neighborhood, they want to play kickball in there. They want to, throw around, racquetballs because they're kids. Let's just leave it unlocked." And my neighbor was telling me that I guess so many people are out doing outdoor activities now, whether it be bicycling or walking their dogs in groups or whatever, that more people are playing tennis. Well, I guess somebody told somebody who told somebody, and now we're getting a ton of people playing tennis that don't live in the neighborhood. So somebody ratted them out and was like, yo, you don't live here. Get the fuck out. And now there's a giant bicycle lock with like a big combination thing on the gate to the tennis court. And it's like, why would you go to someone else's neighborhood where you don't live and use their tennis court? Like, why?
People don't think that far.
I know.
I
I'm
didn't.
jaded, so I can't. I'm jaded. It is what it is. I look at people as just above crackhead to start most of the time. That's where you start, and then I adjust from there.
Yeah.
You earn your right to a brain.
So I was getting my cup of coffee. I flipped the light on in the kitchen, and Kitchen Gecko looked at me and goes, bro, really? Yeah, because it wasn't normal. It's like, whoa. And like he backs up into his little hole in the sand. Tonight he just sat there and was like, really, bro?
Was it, what is it, like is it a Turkicus?
What?
What kind of gecko is it?
Oh, it's a Levy's. Not
Oh, I thought you meant like a Turkish, like a house gecko or something.
Oh, like a wild house gecko?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
This is the Kitchen Gecko. He's the one that's set up all cool in my kitchen.
Is it weird that I do want to catch some of those little Turkicus and like raise some just for the hell of it?
No, man, go for it. I mean,
That seems like they would be cool. Like they're pretty little lizards if
Yeah.
you can see them for more than 10 seconds.
I mean, look, I got Mediterranean ones and Asiatic ones all over here. Actually,
yeah, we have the Mediterraneans now. The Mediterraneans are popping up all over the place now.
What I was gonna say is, so Dom wants a carpet.
Yeah.
Are we all gonna get her one? We're gonna find her one.
We'll get Jake to donate one.
Tax deductible.
I don't know. I've talked to him about how many he's willing to let go, and he has changed his mind a couple of times.
Who, Jake?
Sounds about
Yeah.
right.
Oh, well, yeah, it's because I think he has them pre-sold in his head, and then either people are going to back out or they're going to have forgotten that they're like, oh, yeah, I'll take one. He's like, hey, man, remember when you said in 2014 that you take one?
We were giving him a hard time. We were joking about that the other day. We were like, Jake already had, like, they haven't even hatched yet, and they've had their first meal. Like, Jake's already got them.
Yep.
Jake's already got them sold.
Yep.
He's like, he's
On
pumping.
that note, I have 2 of them.
He's pumping mice through a syringe into the egg before they hatch.
That's legit. It sounds legit.
Yeah, I mean, I trust it. Why not?
It's pretty
Yeah.
sweet that he got twins, though.
That is pretty cool. I mean, I leave it to Jake to not see which ones are the twins.
I asked him about it. He said he figured it out. He said it was obvious. He said they were the two smallest ones of them all. You know.
Oh, okay, cool. I was gonna say, because like with that boy's luck, he could literally go take a pee in the bathroom and come back, and they'd both be out, and they'd all be out, and he'd be like, "Oh no, what the hell?" I mean, that's my luck, you know.
I so hope these locks took off, man, because I've been now that I see everyone hatching out chondros and seeing Jake's stuff, I'm like, man, I want to hatch out stuff too.
I know I told you guys I was gonna pair up geckos the other night. I didn't do it because I got lazy, and then I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get some hornworms, and I'm just gonna hornworm them so they're all like, and then give it a couple days, and then I'll be like, hey baby.
That's how they do it.
That's how they do it. Actually, my one male, he goes over and he goes, "What's up, bitch?"
He's like Debo. Smell my pump. Where my 40, homie?
Well, the last time I bred this male, or tried to breed this male, he came in peacocking like a son of a bitch, like the best A game you've ever seen a gecko do. And he was like, "Yo, I got a career, I got ambition, got my own car, got my own house, I got a mortgage. What? You know you want this gecko." And the girls were like, "Get the fuck away from me." And I don't know. The guy I got him from said that he bred him once successfully.
Mm-hmm.
But I almost feel like it's watching like a 14-year-old adolescent boy hitting on like a 25-year-old supermodel. And like the girl's like, just go away, little boy. And he's like, hey, babe, what's up? What's going on? How are you? And like, they bite them on the nape,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he misses. He hits like their thigh, or like he'll grab him on the side, and then they twitch real quick, and he lets go. So,
you know how I got all excited about throwing that shed in?
Oh yeah, and it worked.
No.
Oh, it didn't?
He didn't care about the thing at all. The female was more curious about it than he was. He didn't give a single. And I put it like right next to him. That male was like, this dude. He's like, please. He's like this little dude.
Try the poo.
No.
Try.
172.
Gotta try the poo.
I don't need to now.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about this one, man.
I mean, when Sean breeds, he prefers the poo.
Oh, I totally missed part of this conversation. I was on the radio. It's not my fault.
I know. That's why I said that. That's why I did that.
What happened? I'm still lost.
Who are we talking about? We were talking about how Justin introduced shed skin from one of his other males into the breeding pair of chondros.
A very young male, and that's why I think the older male didn't care, because he was like, dude, this dude ain't going to get nothing done. I ain't scared of him. He ain't a threat.
Yeah, but you got a reaction from putting the shed skin in there, because clearly the female was more receptive than she had been, right?
I think she was just checking it out because she was like, this is new.
Oh, okay.
Like, if I had put in a new box or something just to change up things, she would have had the same reaction. She'd been like, oh, who's that?
Okay.
I was like, man, this definitely has to get the male going. It's another male. He's a younger male, but it's a male nonetheless. Like, he's shedding plugs. So, like, it has to do something. And I put it in there, and he was like, that ain't competition.
Well, I'm going to pair up some Syncus tonight. So, fingers crossed that they are interested. Because if I don't get any action out of tonight, like if I don't even see any like appropriate interaction between male and female tonight, I'm just going to abandon hope for the season.
Yeah, my dad's doing that with the gray bands. I asked him earlier, I was like, you pairing anything up yet? He's like, I don't even think I'm going to this year. Just with all the COVID stuff, I think he's just not.
Yeah.
He got a promotion at work too, so he's even more busy than he was before too. So.
Oh, okay. What's he do for a living?
He was the public works engineer at the Marine Corps Air Station here in Beaufort.
Oh, cool.
Now he's like over that whole department.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Congratulations to him.
It's been much more stressful, I can tell.
How many of those babies do you have still?
The original chondro clutch?
No, I'm sorry. The gray bands.
Oh, I don't have any. I think he still has a few, and I've had some people ask if there's any available, and I know they are, but I don't know if they're eating yet. And I'm kind of over telling people I'll let you know when they're ready and not knowing when they'll be ready. So I'm just like, I don't have anything at the moment. Once they start eating on their own, I'll be like, yeah, sure. Here's, whatever.
Right.
But,
and Sean, do you have any eggs in the pipeline?
Not this year.
Okay.
So I chose to wait another year. My Darwin girls are right on the fence. And so I just chose to wait another year and not worry about it. Make sure they get some more weight and go from there.
Do you have any other stuff that you'll be breeding next year too, or just the Darwins?
Just the Darwins.
Okay.
That's the only stuff. The only stuff I can breed at the moment or in the future is carpet pythons, which will be Darwins and then Popwins.
Awesome.
Unless I get a bred line.
Really.
Or I'll just go blasphemous and produce albino bred line and go that way.
My goal, honestly, is to get another male IJ from Jake, and then I want to get an albino Darwin from you, probably a female if you make it, And because what I want to do is I found out that my 2 Darwins are POS heads.
Okay.
So, fuck it, why not, right?
Yeah.
They're there. I might as well try. You know? And they're not going to be ready for like at least 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. I think the sprinklers are going on. Oh, shit. I don't know if it's going to reach to me.
Why don't you move the computer before you find out?
Well, I'm literally holding the computer, scared that it's going to just start attacking me. Actually, I think we're good.
We'll go ahead and sit down and find out.
Oh man, I think it's getting violent. It's getting savage.
I need to see. Actually, I'm looking up right now what the like weight requirements and age requirements are for breeding these hog noses. I wonder if my female's old enough and big enough now.
I think we're good, boys and girls. I think we're good. I think I'm out of the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Danger. Can you guys hear that, by the way?
A little bit. Sounds like me when I pee.
Oh God, damn it, Jesus. Dude, what's funny is, what it sounds like when it first starts is a pygmy rattlesnake. It's literally what it sounds like when it starts up, But I'm actually happy. I have a Palm Beach County pygmy rattler that was only eating fuzzies, live fuzzies, pain in the ass. And I got a little creative last night. I gave it 2 live fuzzies and a live rat pink, scarfed them down. Made me happy.
I'm anxious to go weigh my female now. When we get done, I'm going to weigh her and see where she's at.
The Western hog?
Yeah.
How long is she?
1.5 feet.
That's pretty good, right?
Still is small, on the smaller side for a female, but
Okay.
the Google says they should be at least 2 years old, which she is.
Okay.
And 250 grams, which I think she might be close to. The male, I'm not worried about. The male, they have to be like 70 grams, which I'm almost positive my little asshole is. So.
Okay, cool. And then you only have Westerns. You don't have Mexican, right?
Right.
Okay.
Chris has the Mexicans because I'm actually really curious about those. I asked him to write an article about them for the magazine, but he said he's only had his for a couple months and he wanted more time with them before he started writing anything about them. So
cool. I got to get with you off cam and figure out what you got coming up so I can write some more shit, man. I haven't written anything in like a month, and I'm like,
I still have like your Arizona article. I've got some stuff in the stockpile still. So
I know, but still, gotta keep it up. Gotta keep it up.
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a product review of MPK and exotic arboreal rat too.
So also there's I already messaged Justin about it. I picked up some Inkbird thermostats that are dual control, so they can control 2 items at once.
Oh, nice.
And I'm doing a product review on that. Logging temps and everything else, seeing how well it keeps it within reason.
How many actual units did you get?
4.
Oh, perfect. Are you going to? Did you start building Andy Milton's cage yet, or no?
No.
Because I was going to say that would be a great system to test on that to see if it can do the
like
belt.
Two different heats.
You know what I'm saying?
Back heat.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. Right now, it's just comparisons, and I've got a little mini back heat rack that I set up, and then I have a couple of belly heats, and then I've got them on radiant heat panels as well, and I'm just seeing how it works across the board. One of those is set up to one runs a heat panel, or one runs a heat panel, and one runs a rack. just to see if there's any issues. And so far, they've been running fine.
How many days have you had it going?
26.
Oh, wow. Nice. I thought you were going to be like, just a week. That's great, man. And no deviations, nothing crazy?
Nothing outside of parameter or whatever. So, and I'm not the crazy guy who's like, it has to be at this 0.1 or whatever. That's not me. So I set it within so if I have it at 85, it'll heat from 85 to 87. 87, it turns off, and it'll kick back on at 84. And that's just the little range it'll bounce or whatever.
You're talking about is it the C206 model that I talk about a lot?
No, mine's significantly larger than that wall plug-in one you have.
Oh, okay. It's the one that has the plug-in dangles. Or
it looks more like a regular thermostat.
Okay, I think I know it. Yeah, I know which one.
So, and the interesting thing though is you buy your probes. You can buy the probes separately, and so it can be a thermostat or a hydrostat. So it can handle humidity, and it also can do cooling. So if for some reason you needed to have a more precise control in hotter places, and you needed something as a backup, and you had a little cooling unit, you could have a heat and cooling unit, and make sure you never overheat shit.
That's awesome. That's cool.
So,
That's super cool.
And I was just looking at them, and I know for the most part, Inkbird ends up being a pretty decent thermostat. And they're like $60.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with them. Are they as spot on as any of your Hertz stats or VE stuff is? Probably not. But I mean, for if I'm keeping something that's not really that delicate,
right?
Temperature like that,
yeah,
they've been working great for me. I haven't had any problems.
Nice. Did you guys remember I got those Zilla power strips that have the built-in timers? Has anyone else that you guys know, or you guys tried any of them or no?
Not that I know of.
So I gave up on. I got really frustrated the first night that I set it up because it has 7 days, right? So it's Monday, day and night, Tuesday, day and night, Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. So I sat there for 20, 30 minutes and programmed everything. And I was like, you know what? Let me leave the weekend different and see if it'll, see if it really works the way it's supposed to work. And I let it run for a week straight, and I checked it every single day. It was exactly the same as if those day scheduling and the times meant nothing. It was like I had a fucking normal power strip, like a normal $8 power strip from Walmart. That's literally what went on. So I need to get the manual, and I need to sit down and really play with that thing, because I think it has a ton of potential. And either I'm just stupid and I'm not getting it right, or I got the one that I have two of them. One's just defective. The other one is on a poor man rack, and it's just set to turn on, and I just leave it. So, but I got to mess with that. I was trying to figure out, because the analog one that has little push buttons like a normal timer, the analog one is $4 cheaper than the digital one. And that made no sense to me at all. Why would you ever buy the analog one? And now I'm realizing it, because the digital one is a pain in the dick. So unless I'm just dumb, which has been the case in the past.
Yeah, I'll save it for when I write that up. But there are some drawbacks to the Inkbird that I had. And there was a moment there that I was freaking out when I first set it up. Let's just say it was spiking up to 100 degrees. And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Figured it out, but so that would be the biggest thing.
Did you not have the probe plugged in?
Oh, it was plugged in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get the incubator set up tomorrow.
Nice.
I got someone coming to buy a Condor tomorrow too. So.
Oh, cool.
Or pick up a Condor they've already bought.
So now that Jake has a Sea Serpents, he gave you the wine cooler one back, or no?
No, he had we had a spare empty wine cooler that my dad had picked up, because we were gonna make me an incubator, and then he was gonna make an incubator for himself, but we ended up not doing that. And So he took that old one that hadn't been set up yet, but he never made it.
Okay.
So I'll get my hands on a Sea Serpents one eventually, or if Sean decides to play around and make one, I'd be willing to guinea pig that.
Hell yeah.
I've got to take it easy on the R&D stuff because I start going and I don't stop until I realize I spent $500.
I'd be honest, man. I really felt bad about you buying them Cambro tubs, and like I understand why you did it, but I was like, fuck, man, I feel bad that he just bought those.
Nah, it's good to have on hand.
Yeah, and here's
I mean, you got to stockpile all these different style tubs, anyways, right?
Yeah. I've got like 15 different kinds of tubs just stacked around.
And what is fucked up the most is that I am an asshole and I didn't buy my tubs yet.
It's all right.
So I gotta buy them. And then like every day I look at stuff that I'm gonna buy and I'm like, ooh, that'll go in Sean's rack. Ooh, that'll go in Sean's rack. Ooh, that'll look really great with the lighting that Sean's doing for me in his rack. And I'm like, don't buy it because you didn't buy the tubs yet. Don't be an asshole. Because I'm like, what am I going to do? Get fucking Exoterras out of storage only to have to rip it apart again to put them in the rack? So it's good though, man. It's good.
Well, we're supposed to get days off again here this next week. So hopefully things will start returning to semi-normal for me. And I can actually get serious work done.
Cool, man. We love it.
Yeah, I'll take pictures either tomorrow or Monday for the website and stuff. So
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Justin, did you talk to what the hell's that company called that makes the hard copy magazines?
Picho.
Did you talk to them about the fucking shipping and buying one magazine at a time?
So I found another company that does the same thing, but they have a cart feature. So I created an account, but then my login wasn't working, and so I had to email them. I didn't hear back from them for like a day or two, which was frustrating. And so then I finally got the login set up. I uploaded the first issue of the magazine, and a lot of stuff was getting cut off. Like their margins are a lot wider than what Picho uses.
Okay.
So I was like, well, crap, I'm not going to get this printed if like a decent chunk is getting cut off of like important content and stuff.
Like half an inch is getting cut off of each page.
And so then I was like, well, maybe it's just that first issue because that was when we were using the old design program. So I uploaded the latest issue, and it was the same thing. So I was like, well, fuck, I can't use this. And so then I emailed Picho and was like, hey, are you guys at any point going to offer this? So I was like, I'm looking at this other website that does the same thing and thinking about switching, but like I have people who want to buy these magazines, but I don't like no one in their right mind is going to pay $60 to ship these magazines when shipping is literally half the cost of the magazine itself. Like,
right.
And the response I got was, we want to eventually, but right now, because of the way the files are sent to the printers or something like that, that's not an option.
Yeah, because I won't lie. I was going to, because obviously I'm not doing anything. I'm not going out. I'm not having fun. I'm sitting here. Well, I'm having fun with you guys, but you know what I mean. And I was like, you know what? Let me just buy one of every magazine for myself now. And then I was going to buy like 5 or 6 more to give to choice people who I wanted to give the magazine to. And then I was like, wow, I have to do this. I have to pay $10 for every single issue.
Yeah.
And I have to fill out the credit card information 12 times. Like, it's stupid.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I noticed early on with them. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to be fine for the first couple issues. But after a while, if we have 20 issues and someone wants to buy the whole back catalog, like they're kind of screwed. And so I'm kind of back to square one on the whole thing. And I got to start looking around, seeing if there's another company that does something similar.
Yeah.
Phil, let me ask you this. It doesn't allow you to buy like 5 of the same issue?
It does, but
at one time?
You can't buy 5 different issues at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to buy them all individually.
Yeah, because like I was gonna get the issue 2. I was gonna get like 2 or 3 of them, and then I was gonna get like 2 or 3 of issue 1, and then I was going to get one of all the other ones just for myself. And it's like I got frustrated because I'm lazy, and I didn't want to fill out. It wasn't even so much the $10 per friggin' issue.
It's expensive because it's $20 to ship an issue. Like total, the whole cost of the magazine is $20 shipped, and that's a lot.
It wasn't even that. It was the fact that I had to sit there for however much time, because I was like, oh, I'll just buy them on my lunch break or whatever. And I was like, no, this is not happening. So I was frustrated.
Because I had other people raise the same concerns. They're like, I have to buy every issue individually and like shipped individually. And I was like, yeah. And that's when I started looking, and I found MagCloud, but they ain't any better. And they have a template on their website for InDesign, which is the program we use. And they're like, just download this, and this is like your template that'll have everything where you need it. But I'm afraid that it's going to scrunch everything in. And so now it's going to be even more pages because I have so much less space to work with for content.
Yep.
And it's just, I'm like if I could combine the two, where like I had the buying options that MagCloud has, but with the margins and like parameters and stuff that Picho uses, it'd be perfect.
Yeah,
that MagCloud just cuts off so much.
Yeah.
Do they tell you what their dimensions are for their margins?
Yeah. It tells you, like, when you upload an issue, it gives you all these different warnings where it's like, okay, you have some images that are really low resolution. These aren't going to print well. And I'm like, whatever. That's what I had. I couldn't, I can't fix that. They can't all be super high res. And then it was like, you're going to have stuff cut off. Like, it shows you, they have like a red line, like red shadow that goes around the whole outside of the magazine. And it shows you what's probably going to get cut off. And it's a lot. So. It's dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I could print a test issue and see how they come out, because maybe that's just like in the red section on that layout thing is like, this is when you're cutting it too close to the edges. Like, it might get cut off, but it might not. I don't know. So
yeah,
I have to either keep looking or see what MagCloud says, because like I email Picho a lot, and like if you send something to print and they notice things are going to get cut off, because I guess they check the file and everything in InDesign before they print it, they'll email you and say, hey, there's some things that are getting cut off, like the margins are too close, there's text too close to the spine, like on the inside, whatever, do you want to still print it? So they'll ask you before you do it. But there's so many people that use Picho, though. Like, you'll find other services like, oh yeah, we print through Picho. I'm like, so why am I not just doing it through Picho?
Yeah. Well, so my dad is a journalist for horse racing and horse stuff, and I just texted him. Hopefully he's still awake, but he was doing some publication stuff for horse magazines, and I don't know why I didn't even think to friggin' ask him. So I'll find out from him and see who he uses and go from there. Just see if he knows about them.
I don't know if Vistaprint prints this kind of thing, though. Like, most of these print-on-demand things for magazines are made for magazines, so. And, I mean, unless we started doing a subscription thing where if you wanted a hard copy, we'd have to have a couple grand up front easy just for the printing of, like, the first run.
Yeah.
Like, that's the expensive part. That's the reason we haven't done it, is because that costs a lot of money. And subscription-wise, like, if it's free, it's one thing. If you start charging for a subscription, probably a solid half of the people that read it now when it's free won't do a subscription. So I don't know. Like I said, it's something I got to look into. I haven't. I've been lazy.
Understandable. Did you hear anything from King Snake ever?
I didn't. I'm glad you reminded me, because I completely spaced on it.
It's been about a week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured give them a week to get their COVID butts in action. Because the moderators are still young.
I need to email him again and ask, because he never asked for a link. Like, all those banner ads are little links, basically.
Oh, okay.
And it takes you to the website, and he never asked me for a link. He just took I don't know. I got to email him.
Okay. So, but he didn't put something up without.
I don't know. I don't see it up there. I've checked.
Oh, okay.
I've refreshed that page about 1 million times to see if it comes up.
All right. Yeah, Kingsman. What'd you expect? Yeah.
The price you pay for cheap ads.
Yeah, right. On a website that hasn't updated since Christ was a corporal.
But it is bedtime,
Okay.
so I will
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
holler at you fine gentlemen later.
Have a good evening, everybody. Tom, good night.
See you later, Sean. Don't have too much fun.
Be safe.
Good night.
Bye.